Hello there, ladies and gentlemen, Grey Remnant here. Today we're going to be doing our first film review, and it's going to be Avengers Age of Ultron. That's right. I just saw the midnight showing, technically last night. Actually, it played throughout the morning, so it'd be earlier today. And so I'm going to talk to you about it, about what I thought. The review is going to be divided into two parts. The first part being just a simple overview of the pros and the cons without spoilers. This will be spoiler-free, but the second part will have spoilers. So eventually there will be a part where some message will come up on the screen like, leave if you don't want spoilers. When you see that, you should leave if you don't want spoilers, unless you want to be spoiled, or if you've seen it. Either way, I don't know why you'd want to be spoiled, but, nevertheless, you have that option. That option is available to you, if you so choose. And so we're going to get right into it. I didn't look up any plot summaries for this, so I'm going to be pretty much going based on my memory, my short-term memory, which has proven faulty before, but I'm just going to roll with it because I don't really care. First of all, if you like Marvel films generally, you're going to like this. This isn't a bad Marvel film. This isn't a particularly fantastic one either. I wouldn't say it's the best one to date. I'd say the best one to date is either Iron Man or the Avengers. It's a close one between the two, but this one would probably be above average for Marvel films, but it's definitely not the best. This does not one-up the Avengers. I just like to throw that out right at the beginning. And, I mean, frankly, did anybody expect that it would? I didn't. And the Avengers was pretty much as good as it was going to get. I think we should have known that going forward. But ultimately, it didn't disappoint. I was quite happy with it. There were some parts that were quite funny. And that's not atypical for Marvel films. They typically do have a generous amount of humor in them, and that's actually one of the things that I really like about Marvel films, is that they're not afraid to take themselves a little bit not so seriously every once in a while. And then there are parts where it is a lot more serious. It is actually a little bit darker at some points than the original Avengers. Trying to think of what to say without spoiling stuff. As far as characters being killed off, it's quite low. I'll get into exactly who is killed off in the spoiler section, but a lot of people were thinking that Whedon was going to go nuts and kill a bunch of people. Like, no, not any more than he usually does. He's pretty... Nothing outrageous happens. None of your favorite characters are going to be killed off, probably. This is a movie that's structured a little bit differently than the first Avengers. In the first Avengers, you kind of had all the characters already introduced. We'd seen Thor. There had been two, or actually only one movies by the time of the first Avengers came out. There were two Iron Man films. Incredible Hulk was already out. We've already seen Black Widow and Hawkeye before. All these characters, they'd already been introduced. And Loki was introduced as well. So there's no need in introducing him. There's no need in introducing any of the Avengers. The Chitauri were pretty... I mean, no introduction was necessary for them. We knew exactly what we were getting into with those guys. Here we see some new characters. We see Scarlet Witch. We see Quicksilver. We see Ultron, of course, and we see Vision as well. I don't think that's a spoiler. I think everybody's aware Vision is in this. That shouldn't be a spoiler. You should know that. So we've got 4 new characters that we have to introduce. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are introduced fairly early. We get their backstory, and it's not extensive. It's pretty simple. Ultron, backstory minimal, I would say. He doesn't have a very big backstory. Vision, also a new entity, but he's weird. We'll get into that in the spoiler section. There's a lot of intricacies to get into when we're talking about Vision. A lot of people have been a little bit nervous about the length of this film. 2 hours and 24 minutes, I think. It doesn't feel that way. It clips along relatively quickly. You're not going to be looking at your watch like, oh, when is this going to be over? No. It won't feel like 2.5 hours. It's going to feel more like an hour and a half. Yeah, I had the similar experience with The Dark Knight when it came out in theaters. People were talking about the long run time, and it clipped along. It really didn't feel like much time at all compared to what people were dreading. Oh, it's so long. We're not going to like it. It's going to be terrible. People are pessimists when it comes to films, but I always say give it a chance. And this one definitely clipped along. I'd see it twice, but I'm not going to. I never see movies twice. I don't understand the appeal there. We're getting way off track. The first act clips along pretty quickly. The only act that drags, I feel, a little bit, that felt a bit long, was the middle act. I won't say what that is because that's spoilers. We'll get to it. Don't worry, you guys. The spoiler portion is coming. That felt like it dragged a little bit, and then the end battle was so epic there was no way it could have possibly dragged. I will say For anybody interested, there is a mid-credit scene. There is not a post-credit scene, as people suspected. I sat through the whole thing. There's nothing after the credits. And I highly recommend you see it because it is awesome, to say the least. In terms of acting, I would say all the normal characters are as you would expect them to be. War Machine is in this, and Don Cheadle, always, a solid actor. We had, what's his face? Falcon was briefly in it and was in it again at the end a little bit, but he's not involved very much. He's background character, a cameo appearance. Baron von Strucker is in this, played by none other than Fegelein. Congratulations if you get that reference. He's awesome because he's Fegelein. We had a little cameo appearance by Andy Serkis, who wasn't playing a CGI character. That's gotta be a first, right? It's his forte. Why wouldn't you use it? But he's actually quite good. I think he should do acting a little bit more. I remember also seeing him in The Prestige. He did a live action role there as well. He was pretty good, and he's good in this. He has an Australian accent. I think he plays Claw, Ulysses Claw. He has a brief scene. When it comes to the new characters, Elizabeth Olsen and Aaron Taylor Johnson, I had reservations when it came to Aaron Taylor Johnson. I'm not sold that he is an A-list quality actor, and I still don't think he is, but I think that he did well in this film. I don't think that there was anything cringeworthy that came from him. There was also nothing mind-blowing or Oscar-worthy coming from him either. So, take what you could get. But he was okay. His accent was okay. His accent was pretty good. Elizabeth Olsen was actually really good. I liked her in this film, and I like her. I don't know if you noticed, but it's been announced that she's going to be in Civil War. That was just announced the other day. She's pretty good. I'm liking her portrayal of Scarlet Witch. Paul Bettany was awesome as Vision. I'll say that. And, of course, James Spader as Ultron. Won't go too much into Ultron because that's spoilers. He's nuts. He's very, very insane. A lot of people were... it's been known that he was going to be a little bit crazy. We didn't know how much. He's very crazy. He's not a very logical person. He's pretty nutty. He's pretty out there. But no, James Spader is awesome as Ultron. In my opinion, he's the best Marvel villain to date. I would say Ultron's better than Loki. And so acting wise, I thought it was solid. I didn't see any weak links. Actually, there was some guy at the beginning of the movie. At the very beginning, he's like one of Wolfgang von Strucker's assistants or something. His acting was terrible. He was only in it for like a minute though, so I don't know if I could judge the movie based on that. But he was just like he had like 2 lines. He couldn't deliver them. It was like, "Oh, the Avengers." That's literally how he delivered the line. It was so bad. I felt bad for him because it was like, Jesus, your career is over. That was the only questionable thing in terms of acting that I saw. Robert Downey Jr., awesome as always. The plot line is quite good. Compared to the first Avengers, I say it's better. The first Avengers, the plot was kind of non-existent. There wasn't much of a plot. It was just Loki has his scepter and he has an army and he's going to destroy the planet and that's just it. Oh, and there's a nuke involved. There wasn't much there in terms of plot, in terms of plot development. But this movie was a little bit more intricate. It was a little bit more interesting, I would say. There were a little bit more twists and turns and some bigger surprises, I felt. I like the battle scenes. I like the action scenes more in this one than I did the original. But I think that where the original really trumps its sequel is in the overall flow of the film and in the interactions between the characters. We didn't see as much of that in this one. There was still a lot of it, but there wasn't as much. It was toned down a little bit. We didn't see the one-liners between the Avengers as much, though there were plenty. It's just a little bit lacking there. I think that's really what people loved about the Avengers. It's not about the Avengers versus the Chitauri. It's about how the Avengers interact with one another. I think that's the thing that people really, really like. And this one, it was more the Avengers versus Ultron. That was the main focus. It was the Avengers versus Ultron. That's it. There's nothing. I would say that the final battle scene in this, to me, I liked a little bit better than the final battle scene in the Avengers. Just a little bit. Very, very close. But there were parts that dragged a little bit. As I said, the middle act was kind of plotting, I don't know what the point of it was. I don't know what they were trying to accomplish. And that was the one thing that really stood out to me in terms of negativity. The original Avengers had none of that. It was perfect. If you're looking for Infinity War to match the original Avengers, they gotta get back to that. But nevertheless, we have to talk about Age of Ultron. CGI was excellent. A lot of people were worried that the CGI was not going to be good because they saw the CGI in the trailers and they panicked. You guys, the CGI isn't done until the premiere. Okay, they work on it up until then. Look, they spent $300 million on this. The CGI is going to be fine. CGI in Jurassic World is going to be fine. CGI in Terminator Genesis is going to be fine. All right, they throw a lot of cash at these things. There's no way it's going to suck. There's just no way. It's not possible. Technology is pretty sophisticated these days. No, the CGI was good. Black Widow now suddenly has these electrical weapons, stingers, whatever you call it. I don't know where that came from. I was a bit surprised. They didn't talk about it at all. It wasn't mentioned. She just has it now, and don't ask questions. She just does. It happened at some point between Winter Soldier. It happened between Winter Soldier sometime and this. Don't ask questions. It's not important. Yeah, I was assuming, I thought they were going to talk about that, but they didn't even mention it. Like, nobody even cared. It was just like, yeah, she's got that now. Yeah. Which makes her a little bit more formidable, because before she was just like someone with martial arts and gun skills. I mean, it's not... actually, there's a moment in this movie where Hawkeye goes... He says something like, the city's being attacked by robots, you know, this and that is happening, and I have a bow and arrow. It doesn't make sense. You know, it's so funny, because that's what everybody always says about him. It's like, why is this guy here? He's like, clearly, like, yeah, he's good with a bow, but we've got Thor, the God of Thunder, and Iron Man. I think we're good. You could sit this one out, Hawkeye. There's a lot of Hawkeye stuff in this movie that I think you're gonna like. We won't go into that until a spoiler portion, which I think should be sometime soon, because I'm getting to the end of what I could say without spoiling things. Yeah, overall, I like this film. It was very fun. It was very funny. The action scenes were great. I liked the plot. I liked Ultron. I haven't even thought about what I'm going to give it. Let's see. What are we going to do? Are we going to do like 0 out of 10? Are we going to do 0 out of... What do you guys want? Maybe we'll just do the 4-star thing, because that's what all the professional movie reviewers seem to do. Yeah, let's do 4 stars. Okay, so out of 4 stars, got to get this right. 3 stars. There. 3 stars. All right, so that's it. Spoilers. The spoilers of Champions are incoming. Please vacate your area and turn off your computer, throw it in the garbage and burn it so that you can avoid any potential spoilers. It's very important. But yeah, spoilers. If you don't want to be spoiled, leave now. You've been warned. Don't cry in the comments like, I've been spoiled. No. Oh God, it's all over. What was the point? No, I don't want to hear that. You've been warned. You've been warned like 6 times this message has flashed. So, spoilers. Okay, so let's talk about the intricacies of this film. Alright, so, basically, we start out with this Hydra base in, like, Sokovia or something. I guess that's in Russia or around Russia in Eastern Europe. I don't know. This is like this tundra landscape at Hydra base, you know, where the twins were at the end of Winter Soldier. Alright, so we're there. Everyone's, like, freaking out. It's like, we're under attack! Good God, man, get to cover! And, of course, it's the Avengers who are attacking them. That's the part where that one guy delivers that really weak line where Strucker's like, he's like, oh, don't worry, we can take them. And the guy's like, oh, but the Avengers. I'm sitting there like, really? He can't even formulate a sentence. He just says the Avengers. But nevertheless, the Avengers attack. Very, very good action sequence, I might add. Very, very good battle. Hydra's got those like laser things that they had in the first Avenger. I don't know. They still have those. They don't have the Tesseract, so I don't know how they're doing that. But nevertheless, they're shooting at the Avengers, and Hawkeye is blowing up bunkers with arrows, and Black Widow's got her like stingers or whatever. Shock people now. Tasers. I don't know. It's better than shooting people. The cops could learn a lesson from Black Widow. So yeah, they're all... Oh, and the Hulk is there also, just blowing stuff up and just breaking stuff. And so Hydra is losing the battle. And so one of the guys suggests sending out the twins to fight, but Strucker doesn't want to do that. He says, no, we can handle it. Of course, he's an idiot. They can't. And so the twins go out anyway. Quicksilver, I believe, grabs one of Hawkeye's arrows as he's shooting it at a bunker. And then Quicksilver trips Hawkeye. Hawkeye ends up on the ground. He ends up getting like shot in the side with one of those lasers. And so he's wounded. Black Widow has to go to his aid. She gets him out of there, I think. I think Hulk actually breaks the bunker that's shooting at Hawkeye. And then they proceed from there. Iron Man is the one who storms the castle, gets in, and he finds the Loki scepter. Which they've got like in some sort of device. They're analyzing it or something, studying it. And so he gets that. He takes it away. He finds his secret room. he goes down a staircase. At the bottom of the staircase, you got this big room. You got one of those like whale things, those Chitauri, like the big, you know what I'm talking about from the first movie. They're trying to like rebuild one. It's like hanging, you know, from the ceiling, like an old ship or something. And so he goes in there, he's looking at all this stuff. Or maybe that's where the scepter was. I don't know. The scepter was somewhere. He obtains that, and he's looking at this stuff, and Scarlet Witch sneaks up behind him, and she casts some magical spell on him or something, which gives him like this vision. So he's like walking in this apocalyptic wasteland, this nightmare wasteland, and he sees the Avengers lying dead, sprawled on a pile, and there are like Chitauri things flying all over the place and whatnot. Very scary. And he comes out of this vision, and then I guess he just leaves with the scepter. Meanwhile, Captain America finds Strucker. Scarlet Witch casts some spell on him, which causes him to go flying across the room or something, and he then like knocks out Strucker, and he just falls to the floor, and he gets put in jail at some point. I don't know. So the Avengers walk away victorious. They take the scepter back to the Avenger Tower, whatever. You know what it looks like. You know what I'm talking about. And so Tony is analyzing this. He wants to get an idea of what it is and what it's used for. And so he has Jarvis run some scans on it. And they figure out that this thing is basically housing some sort of AI or some computer interface. And so Tony gets this brilliant idea of creating Ultron. Yes, because he's afraid that what he saw in his vision is going to actually come true, and so he decides let's just make a robot out of this and have it defend the planet for us. Now, I don't know if this is a plot hole. I usually don't scream plot holes because I don't like the word plot hole. I think it's a stupid word and it's overused on the internet, but that's really stupid. I mean, this is alien technology that you don't understand. Alien technology that was being used to destroy Earth. So, the idea of using this to create a peacekeeping robot, questionable, very questionable. But he decides to do it anyway, with the help of Mark Ruffalo, or Bruce Banner. I don't know why I called him Mark Ruffalo. Bruce Banner. Bruce Banner, of course. And so he's kind of trying to integrate this AI with Jarvis, essentially, and create some sort of artificial intelligence. And so he has to go to a party, though. Conveniently, I know, right? He has to go to the party. They're partying because they just got the scepter back. They got party, right? I mean, it's like, that's required. That's a and so they go. He goes. Party ensues. Somehow Black Widow is now suddenly attracted to Bruce Banner. I don't know where that came from. It just, again, the stingers, the whole love thing with the Hulk. Don't ask questions. All right. Oh, by the way, Black Widow actually has this way of taking the Hulk and turning him back into Bruce Banner. She like goes up and she has like this secret handshake that she does with him, where it just goes like, and then the Hulk's just like, and he just like falls to the ground. He becomes Bruce Banner again. I know it's don't ask questions. And so yes, now they're madly in love suddenly. I don't know. So in the after party, after everybody goes home, they're hanging out. The Avengers are hanging out. They're trying to lift Thor's hammer, right? Meanwhile, while they're doing this, Jarvis actually succeeds in integrating the Chitauri interface with the Ultron program, but it doesn't really go the way that they had planned. Basically, as soon as the thing gets uploaded, the screen goes black. We go to like an inside the computer view between Jarvis and Ultron. Again, it's really weird and abstract. And Ultron's basically like, oh, what is this? Who am I? And Jarvis is like, oh, you were created by Tony Stark. You're a peacekeeping robot. You're designed to save the world. And then, like, literally, I swear to you, I'm not making this up. Literally within 5 seconds, Ultron decides that he wants to wipe out humanity. I swear to God, you think I'm lying. You think I'm embellishing. You think that I'm, this is hyperbole. No, I swear, within 5 seconds. Ultron is just like, you want me to keep the peace? Yeah, well, humans are the biggest threat to the peace, so I'll just kill them. Thanks. And he's, like, supposedly, you assume he kills Jarvis. And then he puts together a few makeshift drones, and we go back to, the scene at the table where they're trying to lift Thor's hammer. Nobody can lift it. Captain America does briefly nudge it a little bit, which wipes the smile right off of Thor's face immediately. He's like, oh, And he's like, oh, please don't lift it. And then, of course, he doesn't. And so they're just, laughing and the hammer and everything. Oh, good times. And then Ultron shows up and he's like, oh, not good times. I don't, this is stupid. I'm going to wipe all of you out because strings and because evil, I don't know. It's just, Ultron has a good point that humans are the biggest threat to humans and to the Earth. But he doesn't go about it very articulately. Like, he's really mad. Like, when I say mad, I mean insane. Like, he's just, like, rambling the whole time. Which it was intentional. And it's actually quite comical and funny. And it really works really well. James Spader does a good job with it. Like, he's just like, oh, you guys, no, you don't understand. You'll see, though, at some point. This is a good idea. Trust me, guys. I'm just going to kill everyone. And it'll be good. All right? And it's pretty. And then he and a few other drones attack everyone. Nobody's killed. Everybody thought that Rhodey was going to get killed in this attack. No, he doesn't. He's, I think, injured a little bit, though not to the extent that Hawkeye was in the original battle. Hawkeye, I think, gets repaired by, I don't know, there's this scientist named, like, Helen Cho or something who has, like, neuroregenerative tissue technology or something. I don't know. It'll come up later in the film. Don't worry. Who fixes him. Anyway, getting back to this fight, they destroy all the Ultron drones, but Ultron has uploaded himself into the internet. And so he spreads like a virus. He goes back somehow to Sokovia or Slovakia or whatever country they were in the first scene. I don't remember. And he basically takes over that lab that was there before the Avengers crashed it and basically gets it up and running again. It is then after that he contacts the twins who go to meet him, and they join forces because the twins are angry at Tony Stark because Tony Stark apparently created a missile which killed the twins' parents. So, yeah, there's bad history there. So they're mad. They're very mad. Avengers are also mad at Tony Stark for not telling them that he was creating artificial intelligence to safeguard the Earth. Thor is particularly upset because he sees how stupid the whole thing was, and Tony's like, well, we're not capable of defending from alien invasions. I mean, we defended against an alien invasion like 2 years ago. Yes, that's true. We gotta create this. No, they don't like that. So they basically have to find a way to stop Ultron, right? And so they decide that the best way would be to go and question Strucker. But it turns out Strucker's dead. Ultron killed him because apparently Strucker has information about how you can defeat Ultron. And so they go to the next best thing, which is Ulysses Claw. Or Ulysses Claw, whatever you want. I don't know how you pronounce his name. Played by Andy Serkis. Yes, he's in some like shipyard mining vibranium or something. Well, they go to him, but Ultron beats them to him. Ultron demands that he give them the vibranium because he has some master plan. It is in that confrontation that Claw somehow makes some tenuous connection between Ultron and Tony Stark. Ultron doesn't like being compared to Tony Stark. Don't do that. He chops off Claw's hand or arm. He just like, I don't even see... the whole scene is very vague to me. I didn't see how he did it. Like, he just, like, karate chops him, and all of a sudden, he doesn't have, like, an arm anymore. He's like, oh! And he just, like, falls to the ground, and he gets away. Because the Avengers then come in through the roof, and they confront Ultron, right? And so they're like, Ultron, bro, why are you doing this? This is not cool, I mean, it's like, let us keep the peace. And Ultron's like, nah, this is too much fun. And then he just ambushes them with more Ultron drones, and they all fight. And in the chaos, Quicksilver and Scarlet Witch are, messing with people. Quicksilver, actually, there's a brilliant moment where Thor throws his hammer through the air, and Quicksilver sees it, and so he goes up to it, and he tries to grab it out of the air. And there's this smile on his face. He's like, oh, like he just like, and it's like almost in slow motion. He's like reaching out to grab the hammer, like, oh, you know exactly what's gonna happen. He grabs it. He goes flying across the room because you can't do that. And meanwhile, Scarlet Witch is hypnotizing everybody, and messing with their minds. Yeah, that happens. Meanwhile, Tony Stark and Ultron, the main Ultron Prime, is that what you call him? The main Ultron drone, are doing battle outside, and Tony actually does destroy him. But it doesn't matter because he could just switch bodies to other drones and just rebuild himself. So there's no way to do it. And Ultron gets away with the vibranium. And he gets the scepter. Yes, he obtains the scepter as well at some point. I don't know. I don't know how he got that. A little fuzzy. But he gets the scepter. He gets Loki's scepter back. Oh, and Hulk also gets put under Scarlet Witch's spell, which isn't good, which results in the Hulk, going through the city, breaking stuff and throwing cars at people. It's a whole ordeal, you gotta send the police out, and the police are like, oh no, it's the Hulk, what are we gonna do? But then Iron Man arrives with some sort of flying device that's like floating in the air. I don't know what to make of it, to be totally honest. And it like shoots all these pieces out, and they attach to Iron Man, and of course he becomes the Hulkbuster. And so they then engage in a very, very long battle sequence, which is awesome beyond belief. There's this moment where he gets the Hulk like down on the ground, and his fist just like this, it's almost like a piston action. It's just like punching him repeatedly in the face. It's hysterical, and Tony's just like, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep, go to sleep. Just punching and the Hulk's like, no, just hits him, and it was hysterical. And then eventually Scarlet Witch's spell wears off, and Hulk goes back to normal. And then of course Iron Man gets a cheap punch in, which knocks him out. Let's see. So the twins get away. Ultron has the scepter. He has the vibranium. All right. Hulk is in trouble because he just trashed a city in like Africa or something. I don't know. So he's like an international fugitive now. So they have to go underground. They have to go in hiding. So they go to Hawkeye's. Get this. Hawkeye's home, which is like in the middle of like some Appalachian mountains or something. It's like a mountain house, and it's like a log cabin. And he's got a wife, a pregnant wife at that, and 2 kids. Yes. And so they hang out there, and this is that scene. Remember when I was telling you about that middle act that kind of plodded along a little bit too long? This is that part. Nick Fury arrives, gives everybody a pep talk, raises everyone's spirits. Black Widow and Bruce Banner decide that they're going to run away together after this is all done. Thor decides to go to like some magical pool, and this is where Stellan Skarsgård comes back. I don't remember his name in the movie. I don't remember his character's name. Dr. Selvig or something? I don't know. And so they go to like this magical pool. I don't know how this scene is like. This is one of the scenes that I really didn't like. It's probably my least favorite scene in the movie, where he just goes like this magical pond, and he just goes in the pond, and he goes back to his vision, and then we don't see what happens after that. It's like only Thor knows what happens after that. So then we go back to the Avengers, who are still at this house. So they've decided they're going to take on Ultron. They believe they found where he is, which is back they think that he's gone after that Helen Cho character, because she has like this tissue regenerative technology. Ultron wants that because he wants to create a vibranium organic body that is basically indestructible, and he wants to upload his consciousness into it. And so he uses Loki's scepter to take over her mind, and she does it for him, and she makes this body with the vibranium and with the regeneration technology. I don't know, it's very complicated. Ultron then takes the scepter, melts away the casing, and guess what's underneath? Yes, an Infinity Stone. Now everyone was thinking, This has to be either the Mind or the Soul Stone, right? Well, what color is the stone? Yellow. I know, that should be the reality gem, right? No, because Marvel's tricky, and they decided that they're going to change all the colors of all the stones, and they make the Mind Stone yellow. So, the Mind Stone was in Loki's scepter, and Ultron puts the Mind Stone in the forehead of this new body that he's creating. Of course, that's the Vision, right? I mean, yeah. And so Ultron is like halfway through uploading his mind into this new body when Scarlet Witch, I guess, touches the container, and because this new body has the Soul Stone in it, she can read its thoughts. She couldn't read Ultron's thoughts, but she could read this one. And so she then sees that Ultron isn't just trying to get back at Tony Stark. He's trying to wipe out humanity, and that just won't cut it. That's just not good. And so she decides, no, we're not going to do this. So they run away, I think. Yeah, they run away. Ultron gets very angry. He kills everyone in the room and wounds Helen Cho. And then he's just like, oh, I've just taken this. And he takes the body away. He takes his new body away with him. He's got to finish the upload somewhere else. I don't know. So then they're en route back to Sokovia or Slovakia or wherever. That Russian or that Eastern European country, I guess. I don't know. I don't know my Eastern European geography. Sue me. But they go back en route there. The Avengers ambush them en route and try to get this new body that Ultron is creating away from him, because they know that if Ultron creates this, he's going to be unstoppable. And so they try to get their hands on it. It's like in the back of a truck. Ultron doesn't like that they're trying to get it, and he's very, very angry. And so he goes out and he's just like pummeling everyone. Nobody really has the capability of fighting him because he's too powerful. And at some point, Captain America distracts Ultron, allowing Black Widow to get in the back of the truck, get the chamber where the body's being, created in, and she like detaches it, and it goes flying out of the back of the truck. Oh, by the way, the truck is airborne now because Ultron has like grabbed the sides of it and has like propelled it into the sky. Yes, it's flying through the air like a spaceship, and so it goes flying out the other thing. The Quinjet. Somehow Hawkeye is like the best pilot ever, and he manages to catch it in like the cargo bay. And so they get the thing. They got the thing. All right, that's cool. But Ultron still has the vibranium, and he's still en route to execute like his master plan, which is like to destroy the world. And so the Avengers meet back at their base, their headquarters, and Tony decides that instead of destroying this new body, he's gonna upload Jarvis into it and create something that's going to stop Ultron, right? Well, Bruce Banner is in the room with him, and he's like, This is like a time loop. This just happened like 24 hours ago, and we created like something that wanted to wipe out all of humanity. Are you sure this is a good idea?" Tony Stark's like, dude, we're mad scientists. Just roll with it. It's good. You know, you gotta own it. So dumb. And so Bruce Banner's like, "Okay, fine. I'm not going to argue with you. There's no point. You're going to do it whether I say yes or no." And so they try to get Jarvis uploaded into this body. Captain America and Scarlet Witch show up, and Captain America's like, "What are you doing? Are you insane? You just did this and it backfired. How could you possibly think?" And Tony Stark's like, "No, dude, no, don't do that." Oh, and Quicksilver's there as well. Quicksilver actually goes over there, unplugs the thing, and punches Tony Stark. He's like, "No, bad Tony Stark. That's not a good idea." But then, as it looks like Tony's plot has been foiled, Thor arrives, and he, takes, electricity, and he zaps the thing and finishes the thing. He finishes the conversion, the creation of this new robot, and out pops the Vision. Yes, the Vision. And so everybody's like, "Thor, why? Why, Thor?" And Thor's like, "Because that thing in his forehead, that's an Infinity Stone. And it's important. And it's like the key to stopping everything bad that's ever going to happen in the future of the world." So, and it is at that point that it is revealed that there are 4 confirmed Infinity Stones in existence. We've got Loki's Scepter, which was the Mind Stone, yellow. We've got the Tesseract, which contains a Space Stone, blue. The Orb from Guardians of the Galaxy is the Power Stone, which is, I think, purple. And the Aether from Thor 2, again, I didn't see it, so I'm not going to be, a fountain of knowledge here, is the Reality Stone, which is red. Again, they switch the colors of all the stones just to piss people off. Intentionally, yeah. That's what Marvel does. They're mixing it up. And so Thor is like, "If somebody got their hands on all of these stones, we'd be in deep trouble. And so we have to, safeguard these." I don't know. It's weird. And then Vision is all like, "Hey guys, I want to help." And they're like, "How could we trust you? Because, you could be just like Ultron." And Vision's like, "Well, I can't prove it, but, you're gonna take my help or not, He says it much more elegantly than I've put it. Oh, and then he picks up Thor's hammer and hands it to him. And Thor's like, "What? And then everyone's looking like, because Vision doesn't know the rules. He doesn't know that only Thor can lift the hammer. He's just like, "Come on, we gotta go stop Ultron. Here, Thor, take your hammer." And Thor's just like, he grabs it, and Vision just like, he runs the other way. He walks out the other way. Everyone walks away with him, and Thor's like, "Okay." It's like, He just lifted my hammer. That was supposed to be my flare. That's what I bring to the table. Where's the hammer? No. Yes, Vision is the other person who can lift the hammer. Now, I would like to make a tenuous little analysis here. When they were at the table and Tony Stark was trying to lift Thor's hammer back in earlier in the movie, he asks Thor, if I lift the hammer, do I get to rule Asgard? And Thor says yes. Stark created Ultron. Ultron creates Vision. Stark finishes the process and puts the finishing touches on Vision. Vision lifts the hammer. Tony Stark lifted the hammer! Oh! He rules Asgard! Iron Man rules Asgard. It's fact. Yes. Iron Man is now the king of Asgard. As it should be. That would be terrifying. But no. And so now they go to stop Ultron. Ultron, though, captured Black Widow. Yes, he captured her before they got the sarcophagus or the chamber that was creating Vision and went away. He managed to grab Black Widow, and so he's got her hostage in like this back in Sokovia or whatever, wherever. And so he's like building this thing, and you don't know what it is. It could be anything, but he's also basically outfitted his body with vibranium. The Avengers then confront Ultron, and it turns out that what Ultron has done is he's created this thing that is going to lift this entire city out of the ground, and these boosters are gonna propel it into the air, and it's just gonna go higher and higher, and then eventually the boosters are just gonna turn off and go in reverse, and it's just gonna plummet to the ground like a meteorite and wipe out all of mankind. Yes, that's his master plan, is to, no, it's because he wants it to be like symbolic of how the dinosaurs were killed. He wants it to be a meteorite that kills mankind because he's very, very weird. But what happens then? So the Avengers are then frantically fighting Ultron and trying to evacuate this city because their plan is basically to vaporize the whole thing with like electricity and some like vague plan that involves science and like I don't know. And so they're fighting. Scarlet Witch and Quicksilver are now on the side of the Avengers because they don't want humanity to be wiped out. They're fighting Ultron. Thor is actually keeping Ultron from pressing the button that's gonna reverse the thrusters and make the landmass fall back to Earth and kill everyone. But then Vision shows up, grabs Thor's hammer, and just like pummels Ultron, and Ultron goes flying like across the room, right? It is at that moment that Vision and Ultron engage in battle. And Vision is able to like hack into Ultron and cut Ultron's access to like the internet and like Wi-Fi. So Ultron is now crippled. He can only, move from body to body. He can't, once every Ultron droid is destroyed, he is no more. And so now they have a chance of fighting him. The Avengers are defending like that button from the waves of Ultron drones, trying to prevent him from, pushing it. So because they gotta buy time because Iron Man's gotta get like to the bottom of the thing and like do something. He does some stuff. And Thor is basically at the top and the plan is he's just gonna like send some lightning down, and it's gonna somehow, both of those things at the same time are gonna cause the whole landmass to become vaporized, right? And then Nick Fury shows up with the helicarrier from the first Avengers. Yes, not the ones that were destroyed in Winter Soldier, the one from the original one. Yes, he shows up and helps to evacuate all the citizens from this floating city. Hawkeye goes to like rescue this kid who's like in this building, and as he's carrying him, Ultron has commandeered the Quinjet. Yes, he's commandeered it. He's piloting it. And he's just like shooting at everyone. And so he's coming by, raining bullets down. And Quicksilver like rushes over there and absorbs the bullets and saves Hawkeye and the kid. And Quicksilver dies. Sorry. But it's for the best because now, going forward, we can actually focus on Scarlet Witch as a individual character and not, consider them like a pair of characters. So now we get some serious character development. I think it's for the best. I like it. Plus, Aaron Taylor Johnson. Do you really want him in movies? I don't. I think we've had enough of him. So yeah, Quicksilver is dead, and they evacuate all the people. There's a moment where the Hulk gets into the Quinjet. Like Ultron is flying around in the jet, and Hulk like jumps up, gets in, and it just like shows like a camera view of the door from the inside, shows Hulk like going in, and then you just hear Ultron go like, "Oh, for God's sake!" So it just shows him getting like vaulted out of the the Hulk just like throws him out like, no. It's like, mother of shit. Oh, he just plummets to the earth, and he crashes into like a train or something. And so Scarlet Witch then approaches him and kills him, avenging Quicksilver's death. She like rips his mechanical heart out of his body, like somehow. It's awesome. But because Scarlet Witch has left her post was guarding that button to make sure none of the drones could push it and cause the thing to come plummeting to the earth. One of the drones gets to it and pushes the button. Oh no, what's going to happen? Well, of course, Iron Man and Thor are able to vaporize it in time, and everybody gets off safe and sound. Everyone survives. There are no casualties whatsoever. Except for Quicksilver. No one cares. Vision, I think, rescues Scarlet Witch. I think, at the last moment. Vision then confronts the last Ultron drone, which is just like hanging out on the outskirts of the city. It's just like walking around, and Vision just comes down and he's like, hey, I want to talk to you. And Ultron's like, what do you want? And Vision's like, not cool, trying to destroy humanity. And Ultron's like, you're naive, you don't get it. It's not, it makes sense, think about it. And Vision's like, no, dude. No, it doesn't. It's not, no. I don't know what happens at the end of that scene, because it just shows, like, Vision, like, there's, like, this flash of light. I assume that Vision kills Ultron, but, you don't know for sure. I don't know. Maybe he, like, teleported him to, like, some rock in the middle of space as punishment for his misdeeds, so he could just, like, hang out there for the rest of his existence, for the rest of eternity. I like to think that's what Vision did, but, I don't know. Oh, and Hulk ends up in the Quinjet and just puts it on autopilot and lets it fly away over the ocean. And we never find out what happens to it. I know, right? Confusing. But, nobody knows what happened to the Hulk. That's the big question at the end of the film. That's it, I think. I think the end of the film is just the new Avengers base, and they're training their new recruits, which would be Scarlet Witch, Vision, Falcon, and War Machine. Those are the 4 new Avengers at the end of Age of Ultron, who will obviously be involved in Civil War. Post-credit scene, I might like to add, yes, Thanos gets the Infinity Gauntlet. The shit is going down, you guys. It's going down. He's got it, and he's pissed off. I think he says, quote, fine, I'll do it myself. Everyone I said to get Infinity Stones gives them away to other people. I don't... it's interesting, because Ultron actually had more Infinity Stones before he started this quest to gather them than he does right now. He gave the... he never had the Tesseract. But he did have the Mind Gem. He gives it to Loki in order to acquire the Tesseract. That backfires. He loses that. So now he's got nothing. He might have the Reality Stone. I'm not sure. But basically, he's like, this is bullshit. I mean, nobody does what I want them to do. I'll just do it. Whatever. There you go. That's the mid-credit scene. There's no post-credit scene. I know a lot of people thought it was Spider-Man. No. Nothing official yet on Spider-Man. There have been rumors that Marvel has the rights to use him now. We'll just have to wait and see. But it looks pretty good going forward to Civil War. It was a good movie. I like it. 3 out of 4 stars. I stick by that rating. That's my official rating. So thank you very much for watching this. If you like it, please give it a like, comment, and subscribe. You can also share it with your friends. If you're watching this on PMC, give it a diamond. Because I would give your review a diamond, frankly. But, and come back for more next time around, because we got lots of stuff. I'm going to be reviewing more Minecraft maps. We got Week in Review. There's a lot more stuff in between now and Jurassic World to look at. So, thank you guys for watching. Grey Remnant signing out. Bye, guys.